Hi there, this is David Green, the Global Artistic Manager for Oster Professional. I'm going to share with you today some tips on how to do clipper maintenance on the Classic 76 by Oster. When you get started, there's some tools you want to have handy right away. You want to have yourself a Phillips screwdriver right here, and have yourself a small regular screwdriver as well. Have your tube of clipper grease that came with the tool, as well as you want to have your tube of blade lube. You want to have that handy as well. Have yourself a towel, as you're going to need this to wipe things off. So when you get started, first thing we want to do is take the blade off. Let's take that off right here. Then we're going to remove this faceplate right here. So we'll come in here, use a screwdriver. This is the Phillips head screwdriver. And let's remove these two screws, take them down. Let's set them aside. And now you're going to want to pull the faceplate off. When I pull the faceplate off, I'll grab a paper towel and I'm going to wipe this off clean, get all the grease off of it, and then I'll set it down off on the side. Set it down. Now, what's inside here is the lever right here. This is the part that moves the blade back and forth. And as I turn it on, you'll be able to see how that operates. You see it run back and forth, and you see the gears move around as it moves that lever around. So, a couple of things you can do. If you're not mechanically inclined, you can get yourself a cotton swab, and you can come in here and you can clean out the grease that's inside here. Come around, remove all the grease that you can get to with this cotton swab, wipe it off on the side. Once you get that all nice and cleaned out, then you'll be ready to put in the new grease. If you don't mind taking it apart, let me show you how easy that is. I'll come in through here with my screwdriver and we're going to pry up the lever. Now you see me push underneath there and the lever will come right out, just like this. Once I get this out, get your paper towel or a regular towel and let's wipe that off clean. Now when you take off these parts, I recommend that you set them down in the same way you took them out. So the first things to come off were the screws, so we have those set on the side. Then it was the faceplate, so set that on the side right here. Then we'll place the lever down right here. Grab your regular screwdriver and let's pull this gear assembly out. I'll come underneath, pop this up, grab this gear assembly, take it out, and let's wipe all the grease off of that as well. Clean that up, and let's set that down right next to the lever. Now let's pull this gear out right here. I'm going to take this out, and underneath is a washer right here. So careful not to lose that. Sometimes the washer will come out attached to this. Sometimes the washer will stay down here in the flat part. So we'll take this out as well. Wipe the grease off of all of this. Clean this off. I'll set it down. Clean this washer off. Set it down. Now, as we look inside here, this is where all the old grease is. So we'll come in with a cotton swab and we'll clean out as much of that as possible. It doesn't have to be spotless, but get it pretty clean. Take that out, just like that. Now, let me warn you, right here are two felt pads. These pads do not come out. Some people think that this is hair that has got smashed in through there, but they're actually felt pads to help prevent the grease from coming out from underneath where this lever is. Once you get that all cleaned up, I'm going to put the washer back in first. Then I'm going to put the gear on, just like that. Then we'll grab the gear assembly, put this on top of that right here. Now, I'll grab the lever and we'll line the lever up. You see, the larger hole will go on the front peg, the smaller hole will go on the back. And this will move around for you so you can line it up. So come in through here, set that on the front, and I'll push down on it slightly as I bring this back and just line it up right here. Once you've got all that in place, nice and cleaned up, now grab your electric clipper grease right here. Let's take this off. And where I'm going to apply this now is going to be inside these gears, all around, right in through here. We will put no grease in this side. This is an empty cavity that just catches grease as it's thrown in there. So we'll come in here, we'll apply it around here, squeeze the tube down, put a nice coating of grease in through there, just like that. Then, right inside this gear, there's a hole right there. I will put the tip of the tube in that hole, and I will squeeze into it and push grease down in there as well. Turn it on, and now we can see it moving around. It's freer, it's clear. Grab your faceplate, screw this back on, and snug them up. Just like that, you come in and you got that gear assembly underneath here greased up. Now, I recommend doing this twice a year. And the way I remember is every time I change my clocks forward and back, I know it's time to change this grease. If you live in some of the states in the U.S. that do not change their clocks forward and back, think of Christmas and the 4th of July. When those holidays come around, you know you've got to change this grease. Okay? That works super easy. Now, let's talk about coming in here and oiling this little drive right in through here. This area right here is actually a ball bearing right here. That ball bearing has a spring behind it, and once a month I like to oil that as it oils the drive assembly inside here that's in a sealed housing. What I'm going to do is come in with my thumbnail and just push down on that and push it open while it's running. Then I'll put a drop of oil right on it right here and let that oil get pulled down right into that housing down inside there. Wipe away any that's on the outside, and it's easy. If you're using your clipper and it tends to heat up around this portion while you're using it, it's a good chance that this area right in through here in this drive assembly is dried out, creating friction, creating heat. Another thing that can build heat in a 76 is if you do not do a good job of keeping this grease changed out. Eventually that grease will become like a paste, and therefore it's going to struggle to make that lever move back and forth. The more it struggles, the more friction is created, the hotter the tool is going to get in your hand. Now let's keep these bottom filters right here cleaned out. If you'll notice on the bottom of the clipper, there are two filters on each side, kind of like a dryer vent. We're going to come in through here, we're just going to pop it off just like that, and it's got a screen behind it. This allows air to flow through the machine, kick it out through these vents right here to keep the machine cool. It needs air to help keep it cool. If you let these plug up, again, it's going to struggle to get air, it's going to build some heat. So run this under hot water, keep the lint, the hair, keep all that out of it. Come back in here, pop them back on. Just like that, one on each side. The next thing you need to be aware of is underneath these caps right here are carbon brushes. And once in a while, you will have to replace these brushes in here. And that'll be determined by how much you use the clipper. Some people will go through carbon brushes, like if they're on a military base, they'll go through several brushes a year. Under everyday normal wear, you're doing 5-10 haircuts a day with it. It might be a couple of years before you have to replace the brushes. The way you'll know the brushes need to be replaced is you'll be using your clipper and it'll sound like you have a loose connection. It'll cut on and off while you're using it. You're going to check to see if you're plugged in. You find out you are, but as you move the tool around, it cuts on and off. That means it's wearing out on the connection of the carbon brushes right underneath here. It's time to replace them. You can get a new set of carbon brushes right here from any of the Oster distributors. They're sold in a set. There's 2 inside it. When you replace one, you replace both. And here's how simple it is to do. I'm going to get a larger screwdriver. You can also do this with a dime. Come right in here and unscrew this cap. Take this cap off, set it down. Now when you go to remove that cap right underneath there, put your thumb over the top of it as there's a spring underneath there. And once you loosen that cap may pop off and fly across your shop. Now you got to try to find it. So let's come in here. I'll put my thumb over it. With a smaller screwdriver, I'll just pry that up just like that. Now you see the cap sitting on the spring right here. We're going to take that off. We'll set it down. Now I'm going to take this out right here, and here's what the brush looks like. Just like that. See the carbon brush and the spring in it. Set that down. Now notice when I have it out and I turn this on, we have no power. It's not there. We're plugged in, but there's no contact being made. Get our new set of carbon brushes right here. Let's open it up. And let's dump those out right here. There we are. Here's a new brush right here. Now what you want to look for on this new brush is if you look at this real close, this has a rounded edge on it right in through here. This way it's flat all the way across. This is already slightly rounded right here. We're going to take that rounded edge and it should follow the same round of the body of the clipper. So we'll come in here, we're going to drop that in place. Just like that. Grab your new spring, put that on top, pick up your cap, get your cap, put that on, push it all the way down. Put your thumb over it so it won't pop off. Grab this cap, put it on top, and screw it down in place. I turn it on and it's running. When you replace one, you replace both as they wear down evenly together. So it's that simple, that quick. Easy maintenance on the Classic 76, and you will get a lot of life out of this. Again, my name is David Green, the Global Artistic Manager for Oster Professional. Take care of this tool, it will take care of you.